This is based on user-submitted data, and so maybe over time we'll see some more, but right now it's not looking great.
Scott here, joined by the truck parking guru, Tyson Fisher.
Hey, that's me. Yeah.
Hey, that's you. Welcome.
Hey,
Always glad to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're going to start today, I think, kind of on the micro level of the truck parking crisis with what cities are doing to address the problem. We usually start on the kind of the federal scale. We're going to go in reverse order this time. And for Charlotte, North Carolina, this is coming in the form of an online tool. Tell us what they're trying to do there, or what they are doing there, I guess.
Yeah, so we've talked about truck parking apps a lot on this show. And the city of Charlotte, North Carolina is getting into the truck parking app game. So basically, what happened was that Charlotte has fielded complaints about truck parking from both residents and truck drivers. From the truck driver side, apparently there's a major problem with predatory towing there, and there's issues with parking. You combine those two, you got an issue, right? So addressing this issue, the city created a parking app and website that basically informs truckers of where parking is available and what the parking regulations are. So it's kind of familiarize yourself with the regulations, find some parking, try to make it easier for truckers to find parking there, which, by the way, it's a $100 fine for illegal parking in Charlotte. So it's not cheap to park illegally there.
Yeah.
So, of most interest to the truck drivers is the parking availability map, which relies on owners of the parking spots to submit data. So I checked this out before this morning to kind of see what's going on with that. And there was a whopping total of 5 locations that you can park in Charlotte, North Carolina, per this app.
It doesn't seem like a lot.
It is not a lot. It is not a lot.
Yeah.
That's across the entire metro area, and all 5 of those are owned by the same 2 companies that are in the business of paid parking. So these are paid parking spots on the Charlotte, North Carolina app.
I want to make sure I understand, too.
Yes.
You said 5 parking facilities.
Facilities, right.
That's basically what the tool is giving right now.
Right now.
A total of 5.
A total of 5 facilities, and they're all paid parking is what they are. So, again, this is based on user-submitted data, and so maybe over time we'll see some more, but right now it's not looking great. It doesn't even mention the pilot travel center, which there is a pilot in Charlotte proper. It doesn't even mention that. And so it's not great right now. So the only available legal parking is going to cost you $15 a day if that's what you want to do.
Well, the idea here sounds great. I mean, the idea of giving people information about where they can go, where there are spots available, is a great idea. But then when you start factoring in the fact that there's only 5 and the fact that they're only paid parking facilities, that is not going to be received very well, I wouldn't think.
I do applaud the city for the effort.
Yeah,
it's just,
for sure.
I'm just not impressed with the execution so far. Again, this could be refined over time. We'll see what happens. But I did go to a popular truck parking app to see what's going on in Charlotte over there, and I found more spaces. But I found more spaces, but they were all $10 more expensive. So I mean, kind of do what you will with that info.
Yeah.
So there's different options. So again, a valiant attempt by Charlotte to address a problem, and then hopefully again over time it'll be better.
Yeah, we'll give them some credit for now. We'll check back maybe in a few months. Maybe they'll refine it and make this a little bit better and more helpful for people out there, which is the goal. And hopefully they will understand that when they're coming up with changes to this. Let's move to New York City, a city that has a big truck parking problem, a nightmare, I think we could probably call it there. They've got a tool as well that is focused on overnight parking compliance. What does this one look like? It sounds like maybe similar to what we're seeing in Charlotte?
Yeah, very similar.
Okay.
New York City, the City Department of Transportation launched an overnight truck parking pilot program is what's going on. This is in industrial business zones in 3 boroughs. So the Flatlands Fairfield zone in Brooklyn, the Hunts Point zone in the Bronx, and then there's another zone in Queens. So the good news is that the pilot program will add 45 truck parking spaces in the area, so that's good. The bad news is that even though these are city-owned parking spaces, the city is charging truckers to park there. So this is a paid parking app. city-owned paid parking app, basically. So, but here's how it works. So there will be signs at certain truck parking spots informing drivers that it is a metered spot, right? So from there, truckers can pay $10 per every 8 hours at that spot with their Park NYC app. So, which means if you're going to do your 10-hour reset at this spot, you got to fork over $20 because you have to pay for basically
Sure.
2 8-hour chunks, right? So that's how that works. But already New Yorkers are complaining about this program because apparently it's not being used in areas that have the most serious truck parking problems. There's already some backlash from the residents and businesses in the area. So the other problem is this may actually be your best bet to find parking in these areas. I was just going to
say that, yeah.
Because I also checked several truck parking apps to see what the situation is, and specifically these boroughs.
It just is nothing there.
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing,
No one is offering truck parking through these apps. And so I think I did find one that was charging $50 a day to park. So again, this is probably going to be your best bet.
Yeah, and I was just thinking that too when you talk New York City and you talk about the lack of available space. It kind of makes sense that this would be something that you might need to pay for. Again, $10 for every 8-hour session there in New York City. I'll give New York City, I don't know how much credit, 10% credit, I don't know, for doing this at least. Understanding that, a lot of these truck drivers are not parking on the street because they want to. They just have nowhere else to go. So we'll see how that situation plays out as well. We'll check back on both of those cities. Let's move on here and kind of scale up to the state level. We've got Ohio. They're working, or have, I guess, worked truck parking into their transportation budget. And at least for me, it's encouraging to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Governor Mike DeWine just signed a 2-year, $11 billion transportation budget, which includes a provision that addresses truck parking. Specifically, the state has allocated $150 million for a truck parking study. But before you roll your eyes, it's more than just a truck parking study. It also builds more truck parking spaces. So $150 million is kind of a lot for a parking study, right?
Right, yeah.
So the study, it includes a study and then more parking based on where the study indicates parking is needed. So it's kind of just rolling. It's like a 1-2 punch. It's taking a more comprehensive approach to this. So that being said, I think this is the right approach to do it. Funding just a study doesn't indicate that the state is going to do anything meaningful. We see it all the time. They'll do a study and then we don't see anything for several more years.
Right.
But funding a study and more parking in the same disbursement at the same time, it tells me you're serious about pouring some concrete where it's needed. So I'm really glad to see this. Ohio's been very proactive in addressing truck parking lately, in addition to expanding parking at existing rest areas. They also have a rest area modernization program that's currently happening that includes some additional truck parking at some rest areas. And they are currently trying to repurpose a closed rest area on I-80 and to turn that into a truck parking only facility with 38 spaces. So Ohio, it looks like they're getting it done.
They're putting their money where their mouth is, and that $150 million also tells me that they kind of already know what the study's going to tell them.
Sure,
it's going to tell them that they need more truck parking, so they're already taking the steps to kind of make that happen. But very encouraging what we're seeing there in Ohio. And other states could take notice. And to that point, we do have a few states looking, looking at bills right now that would address some of the truck parking problems in those particular states. I know Keith Goebel, your colleague, colleague, covered it for Landline.media recently. We're not going to get to all these here, but of the 4 states that he mentioned in this article, what kind of stands out to you as being a highlight?
I think my favorite one of these is in Pennsylvania. So in Pennsylvania, there's a bill that would give businesses a tax credit for building additional truck parking spaces. So specifically, a $5,000 annual tax credit for each publicly available free truck parking space in certain areas. So great idea. There's no incentive for businesses to allow truck parking, and what Representative Kerry Binninghoff is doing is that he's trying to create that incentive. A very novel approach. I like it. Hopefully it can get out the door, and then other states can see that and be like, you know what, not a bad idea.
Well, and businesses are going to like that too. I mean, that's a big shining
Right?
Give me that tax credit,
Right.
and at the same time, I'm helping with this crisis that they're maybe aware of, maybe they're not aware of it, but that would certainly add up pretty quickly too. If you're talking
Absolutely.
10, 15, 20 parking spaces,
Sure.
over a big area, that makes a difference there. Any other states there? I know New York, Texas, New Jersey also. Anything kind of pop out to you?
Yeah, New York's being New York. In that,
Enough said. Yeah.
But their bills is just going to increase the fines to like up to $1,000. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's what you would expect.
Let's scale up to the federal level now. We've got a few champions in Congress for truck parking. One of them is Senator Cynthia Lummis, and she used a recent committee hearing to bring up the issue. We talked about it here on the show a little bit, but she essentially tied truck parking funding to electric vehicle charging infrastructure, or the funding for that. And she's got an idea here, I think, that might have some legs as we continue this conversation.
Yeah, I was kind of looking into this. So Cynthia Lummis, her idea. So there's an issue with funding for truck parking. Which, although the Truck Parking Safety Improvement Act addresses this issue, she's trying to take a more novel approach. So background: the bipartisan infrastructure law passed during the Biden administration included $7.5 billion for electric vehicle charging infrastructure. But last month, Lummis introduced what's called the Highway Funding Flexibility Act, which allows states to tap into that several billion dollars for charging infrastructure, but instead of using it for charging infrastructure, use it for roads, bridges, wildlife crossings, and truck parking. So I think it's a pretty novel approach. This would absolutely require an act of Congress because she's trying to reallocate money that Congress has already allocated. But again, she has that bill to kind of get the ball rolling on that. I like it. It's a novel approach. The issue I take with this is that it's not dedicated funding for truck parking. As I said, it could be used for roads and bridges. So let's say this gets passed and that funding is available. We're going to kind of see ourselves where we are already at, which is states are going to have to prioritize their projects to tap into that money. Most states don't.
And truck parking just keeps kind of going down that list when they do that.
I'm not sure that billions of dollars in charging infrastructure funding will be used for truck parking. So, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But I do like the novel approach to this whole thing.
Right. And there would have to be specific language to say that this amount of money has to go toward truck parking, kind of like what we see with the Truck Parking Safety Improvement Act in the House.
Sure.
It would be that idea, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to that, Cynthia Lummis, she actually was the one that introduced the Truck Parking Safety Improvement Act in the Senate in the last Congress. And so I think she understands the dynamics of this whole issue with funding and truck parking. And so, it would be nice to see that specific allocation for truck parking. But in the meantime, you have these billions of dollars available. Maybe that would incentivize states to kind of boost truck parking up the ladder when it comes to their projects. But either way, any additional funding available for truck parking is welcome. And so I kind of like to see this get out the door as well.
Yeah, it'd be nice, again, if there were a dollar amount attached to this idea. Again, just an idea right now, but something that she brought up, and she's thinking about it. So we'll see how that kind of plays out here over time. But again, encouraging that we've got people in Congress who understand this. Tyson, you understand it as well. We understand it better every time you stop by, and we appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.